Solmization. Let's answer one question of one of you about solmization. Welcome to this new video. I'm Riccardo, I'm Musici Prattici, and here on the internet I share to all the world how to learn music as you had lived in the Renaissance or in the Baroque, and I teach this to all Musici Prattici in the world who want to learn music in the same way as the ancient Musici did. So let's move here. Let's move this cam with the phone. Wonderful. And let's listen to the question by Sergio, and let's see how we can answer.
First, and I want to know if it is correct to think of this Musica Ficta part as going to the A-sol-fa.
We are here in an exercise in Vicinium in the first part of where we talked about mutation in B hard.
The auxiliary hand. Ignoring the figures, I'm doing the mutations this way, and I'd like to know if it is correct. Re, mi, fa, sol, la, fa, la, sol, fa. Re, mi, fa, sol, fa, la, sol, fa, mi, fa, sol, fa. The idea is that from A-sol-fa it makes fa, mi, fa, and then we change from the natural hexachord to the soft version. So we go sol, fa, sol, and from that sol, fa, 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 and then that way we change to the normal Guidonian hand. Don't remember in which lesson I saw that it was correct to sing fa, fa, so instead of fa, mi, re, ud, fa, fa, mi, re.
Yes, what you said is exactly canto and armonico. We were talking about cantus firmus, and you have the cantus firmus course, which is in the Renaissance path. And yes, you can do it because we are using like a secondary path called Ordo Bquadro Giacente. So to answer this question, so there is the lesson here about the Ordo Bquadro Giacente, which is in the Musica Ficta section, chapter 5, Ordo Bquadro Giacente and Ordo Bmolle nascosto. So you review this lesson 5.6, but besides this, we have to go to the cantus firmus level. So in the cantus firmus course, we are in irregular tones, toni irregolari. So there are a lot of things here. It's incredible how here you can really learn music as in the Renaissance. It's something incredible, amazing. And let's open the PDF because the lesson is at the end here about the irregular tones and toni irregolari, Ordo Bquadro Giacente here. But even in chapter 10, when we talked about affect and ethos, I show a couple of things. Let's start with chapter 8, where we talk about toni irregolari, irregular tones. Yes, this is the point where we talk about the canto en armonico, Agnus Dei degli Apostoli, but there's another here, no, here, cantus en armonicus, where which means to sing the same note in the same syllables in different notes. For example, here, this is from Vincenzo Belli, Lazzaro Venanzio Belli, dissertazione sopra i pregi del canto gregoriano. We have the C-sol-fa clef, fa, sol, la, fa, sol, fa, mi. Why fa, sol, la? Because the presence of this symbol indicates that we have to use the Ordo Bquadro Giacente. So we have mi in F, even in Gregorian chant, in Cantus Firmus, and we'll do fa, sol, la, fa, sol, fa, fa, re, mi. This way, so canto en armonico, bravo, you remember it correctly. And there is another example we talked about, the Ave Maristella here. Avella, and we talk again about this example in chapter 10 of the Cantus Firmus level. We have this chant, and because of the Ordo Bquadro Giacente, we sing ut in D. ut, sol, la, fa, re, mi, fa, sol, fa, mi, re, ut, re, sol, 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 do, re, fa, mi, re, was the explanation given by the Musici of that period. So we have to check the chapter 10 about ethos and the affect of the planets, and we can see that here, let's find it, no, later, Avella, later, no, before, exactly here, when we talk about the eclipse, what Avella says is that in this point, we are singing under the scene of Mars, because we have the scene of the Scorpion. And so Ave Maristella is sung with the Bquadro Giacente because the Scorpion of Mars eclipses the Leo scene of the Sun. Remember that each tonus corresponds to a specific planet, and the primus tonus is the Sun, the secundus tonus is the Moon, the third tonus is Mars, and the quartus tonus is Venus. Mars is the tertius tonus, third tone, and so it says mi la and mi mi because the species of Mars, so the third tonus, are mi 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 la, mi fa sol re mi, second species of the diapente, mi fa sol la, second species of the diatessaron, and so la sol fa mi, la sol fa mi. We change this into la sol fa mi, and ut, sol, la. Here there is the eclipses, so the Sun, which is the planet of the primus tonus, is covered, the eclipses. Re, mi, sol, la, fa, re, mi, fa, sol, fa, mi, re, ut, re, sol, 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 ut, re, fa. The eclipses finish it, fa, mi, re. This way. And the practitioners of astrology say that the stars becomes eclipsed due to a sin of one planet entering the house, so the place of another planet. The same thing happens then in music, and a tone which should naturally be sung in B natural is instead be sung in B flat, or another way, or when in a natural mode, in an accidental way of singing is added. Thus, due to accidental sin, especially if they are contrary, the natural melody is not heard, and this obscures the natural course of the mode in singing the tone. And just as in the sky the eclipse lasts as long as two scenes are joined in one space, so in singing the accidental mode of sing will be sung as long as the sense and effect last, sometimes longer, sometimes shorter, depending on the necessity and quality of the words of the text that require it. It's not an exact science, let's be clear about this. But what you are doing in your video, in your example, is totally good, because there you can use the Ordo Bquadro Giacente or the other hexachord, and you can do what you're doing. So let's take the example of your of the exercise. So this is also all the material contained in the Solmization course. You were doing this exercise, so the bicinium, this bicinium. Okay, exercise 2, the one starting with mi, sol, re, fa, something like this. Where is it? Here it is, the example by Palestrina. And so, if you consider here the Ordo Bquadro Giacente, instead of G-ut to A-ut, A-ut, so let's do this way so you can even see my keyboard. Ut, fa, mi, re, ut. You change to the hexachordum ficto. Ut, re, mi, fa, mi, re, mi, la, sol, mi, fa, mi, or ut, re, mi, fa, mi, re, ut, re, sol, fa. The point is that mi, re, ut, you cannot continue. I suggest that you exit before the eclipses. You can do an eclipse here. Ut, re, mi, fa, re, ut, re. And here come back. La, sol, mi, re, do. La, sol, la, re, mi, fa, mi, la, sol, mi, re, ut. So, yes, here you can use the Ordo Bquadro Giacente because it's its place. Instead of ut, re, mi, fa, you can do it this way without any problem. And so ut, re, mi, fa, mi, re, mi, la, sol, and then come back. Mi, re, mi, or ut, re, mi, fa, re, do, re, or re, do, re. If you stay here in the Ordo Bquadro Giacente, la, sol, mi, re, do. Because sol, fa, mi, fa, sol, fa, la, sol, fa, mi, la, sol, fa, mi. Fa, mi, fa, re, mi, fa, mi. Yes, you can do it, but maybe here can be more confusing. I suggest that if you want to use the Ordo Bquadro Giacente, you can use it only here, because we do not have a syncopation due to a cadence, as we have in this point. We have a note which is from another hexachord. This Che Sol Fa Ut is mi in the deduzio of a ut. Ut, re, mi, fa, mi, re, mi. So I would sing only this section in the Ordo Bquadro Giacente. By the way, you talked about cantus and harmonicus. Yes, this is the right term because you called ut, re, mi, fa, mi, re, mi, and that's normal. You say it's like when you say fa, mi, ut, re, mi, fa, mi, ut, re, mi, fa, mi, re, mi. Here is the point where you are Xing, so you are Xing the Ordo Bquadro Giacente. So yes, perfect. Continue this journey and review Solmization, review Cantus Firmus, chapter 8 about the Ordo Bquadro Giacente, and chapter 10 about the concept of the eclipse explained by Avella that I transformed in a more accessible way because the text regularly Musica by Avella, there's the link in the course. It's really horrible to read even for Italian. There are some phrases which are almost understandable. I mean, it's written very bad, in a very bad Italian of the 17th century, but we managed it, but we can read it. So, continue. This is an introitus of the first irregular tones, primus tonus irregularis. This is a melody of the sextus tonus perfectus, mixtus, imperfectus. And this is a melody of the primus tonus perfectus, commixtus imperfectus major with the seventh. In the education of the Renaissance musicus, which actually extends up to the beginning of the 19th century, after learning Solmization, Cantus Firmus was a very fundamental step. Cantus Firmus is the Gregorian chant as it was practiced in that period. But with Cantus Firmus we mean much more. We mean the study of the melodies, the 8 and 9 ecclesiastical tones, perfectus, imperfectus, authenticus, plagalis, the study of toni mixti and commixti, mixed and commixed, and also toni irregulares, irregular tones, the study of the 9 and not 8 psalm tones, the study of the effect that these tones have on our mind and in the sounding universe. And many other things that you can discover downloading the free ebook that I've prepared for you, where you can discover all the things you can learn in each chapter of this step of your initiatory journey to become a musicus practicus of the Renaissance. So don't waste your time, go to this link and get your ebook.